Waiting for it to go live. And here we are. Hi, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us today. We're really excited to welcome everyone to our Inside IU Global Indy webinar series. We'll wait just a few seconds as folks join. Please feel free to drop in the comments box where you're listening in from today. We are excited to welcome folks from around the world to learn more about all things IU Indianapolis. So we'll wait just a second as folks join us. All right. So let's kick things off. Hi, everyone. Greetings. My name is Leslie Grishin. I am one of the Assistant Directors of International Admissions here at Indiana University Indianapolis. We are so excited to have you join us, learn more about our campus, our city, and the wonderful programs and opportunities we have for international students here at IU Indianapolis. A few brief housekeeping reminders today as we get started. We do have the comments section, so we hope that you can use that to let us know where you're listening in from. Please drop any questions about our campus and for our speaker today. We can see the chats. Everyone is able to view the chats, so we'd love to hear questions as they come to mind. We'll have a Q&A session later on and answer all of those as much as possible. This is just a short time together today, so we hope that you'll be able to follow up, stay connected with us. We'd love to hear from you. And to kick things off, just a little bit more about our campus. We are a premier research university in the capital city of Indianapolis, Indiana. IU Indianapolis is a large public institution with many programs for students to choose from. We are really happy to welcome more than 1,000 international students to our campus from around the world. Right now, more than 100 countries are actually represented, so it's a beautiful global campus. We offer a lot of opportunities for students to join organizations, get involved with campus life, especially students at the graduate level. Research, of course, is a very big component to choosing. We offer lots of research options for you. Our location is a really great benefit for our campus, located in Indianapolis, Indiana, the capital city, and the 15th largest city in the US. We offer opportunities, and we are just steps from downtown amenities. So lots of research opportunities, ways to get involved, build out your community, connect with your cohort, and enjoy your time in our city while you study. I'm really excited to hear more from Dr. Tabitha Hardy today, our speaker, as we have folks joining the call with different areas of interest. So our goal today is share information with you, but again, we want to stay connected and hear more from you after this call. So I'll be sure to share ways that you can connect with us, including here. We'd love to hear from you by email, igradapp@iu.edu. The QR code will take you to our link in bio where you can learn more about our campus and ways to get connected with the departments. For graduate students, we do recommend that you connect with the department for admission steps and requirements. But of course, everyone here in the international office is happy to help be that support and be there to introduce all things IU Indy. So of course, that is just a quick intro and overview to things on our campus. I want to make sure that we spend the bulk of time today welcoming and listening to the great advice from Dr. Tabitha Hardy, who is able to share suggestions and advice on how to make your grad package material shine and prepare for your applications to grad school. Dr. Hardy, thank you so very much for joining us today. We're so pleased and honored to have you representing the graduate school at IU Indianapolis. over to you for your excellent information. And thanks for your time today.
Hi, everybody. Yeah, I'm super excited to be here and to chat with you guys today. Somebody had in this chat, is there a mathematics department? Yes. And there's a PhD in applied mathematics through our School of Science. So I'm happy to chat about those things as well. And today we're going to talk about acing your grad school application package, because we know that you guys are such a gift to whatever program that you are going to be a part of. We want you here at IU Indianapolis. So I'm Tabitha Hardy, and I'm the Assistant Vice Provost for Graduate Education and the Assistant Dean for Student Development and Student Success. And so some of my titles on the screen have changed a little bit, but I'm still here and I'm still me. And that email address I can drop in the chat too, so that if you need to reach out to me, you certainly can. So you can go to the next one. Super excited to be here with my partners from our Office of International Affairs. And I always like to start by telling people a little bit about me, because I feel like if I could do it, you definitely could do it, right? So I'm originally from Mississippi, which is in the southern part of the United States. And I am the youngest of 10 kids. So I have 7 brothers and 2 sisters. You can see them kind of at this bottom screen. I'm standing up. The rest of them are standing up too. My mom is sitting down. So I'm the teeny bopper in the family also. I'm a first generation college student, and I'm the first in my family to get a 4-year degree. So super excited to share with you some of the things that I've learned. My undergraduate is from Alcorn State, and that's also in Mississippi. I got a master's at Jackson State, and then I decided to leave my home state and go to Indianapolis. And I had never heard of Indianapolis before. I had to look for it on a map. And yes, back then they had maps. So it was really a daunting change for me to go from my hometown where my family was to study in Indianapolis. But there I was, and I pursued a PhD in microbiology and immunology from our School of Medicine there. After that, I did a postdoc. I started a faculty position at a small college in Alabama, and then now I'm back at IU Indianapolis. So I like to tell people it's so nice I did it twice. You can go to the next slide. So Leslie already shared with you a lot about IU and our campuses. So we actually have 9 campuses, but the 2 main campuses are IU Bloomington and Indianapolis. And the Indianapolis campus also includes our partners in Columbus and Fort Wayne. Indianapolis is the 16th largest city in the U.S., and Leslie showed you some great spots you can fly to from Indianapolis with direct flights. I'll add one more to it, Orlando. I have done that flight several times. I'll add another one too, which is Las Vegas. You can take a direct flight to Las Vegas from Indianapolis also. Next slide. Another thing about IU Indianapolis is it's a city that's known the city is known for fast cars, blockbuster events, and we've also gained some acclaim for our culinary scene. We've got a great foodie scene. I'm a foodie, and I like the restaurants here. Thriving cultural institutions, trendy neighborhoods, and there are lots of cute little trendy neighborhoods, a great sports scene. So we have the Colts, who are our American football team, and they're actually doing really well this season. We're all in surprise. So we've got a great live music scene, concert scene, theater scene. I was actually at production for Les Miserables just last week. So there are lots of different things that you can get involved in the city of Indianapolis. And I think it's one of those great cities for up and coming young upstarting people who are just kind of trying to feel out what their next step might be. IU Indianapolis, we like to say that it all starts here. And so your journey and fantastic next step, we hope, will start at IU Indianapolis. And that little building up at the top on the right, that's actually where my office is. That is in our university library. And the cool picture on the right-hand side that has IU Indy on the roof, that is our campus center, which is like a student center. And it's really neat to fly over that and actually see that IU Indy. Next slide. So we kind of talked a little bit about IU Indianapolis. We are a home of the Jaguars. So Jaguars roar. And what we like to tell our students is that we roar because that is what we hope to do, okay? We house our medical school, law school, dental school, nursing school, physical therapy, physician's assistant programs, and yes, we have a math program also. We've got 16 schools with more than 140 graduate programs, and about 250 degrees. We're nationally ranked with U.S. News and World Reports for the 5th most up-and-coming national school to watch. We also have nationally ranked programs in nursing, public and environmental affairs, health, and law. And as Leslie mentioned, we're very close to downtown Indianapolis, which I think provides very cool opportunities for our students because they're able to do internships right downtown. They're able to have access to things that are happening downtown. And it also provides them with opportunities to advance research, teaching, create partnerships, and engage in the community. And Leslie gave you some stats on the number of students that we've got and the countries that they come from. And also, we'll share these slides so that you can see. Linked at the bottom, there is a video from our graduate students sharing why they came to IU Indianapolis. Next slide. So today, we're going to talk about presenting your application package. So we all know that there are several different parts to the application, and who in this sphere, who doesn't like to get a gift, right? Okay. Probably nobody's over there raising their hand. I don't want no gifts. I don't need a gift. I'm good with no gifts. No, we all like to receive gifts, right? And you are certainly going to be a gift to whatever program that you decide to go to. And we want to help you present yourself as the gift that you are, okay? Next slide. So we like to think about this graduate school application as a package. And there are some common features of a grad school application, like your demographic information, your educational history, personal statements, essay questions, and some programs have standardized tests that you may have to take. Most of our programs do not require that you take the GRE, and there are a few. Our medical school does require that you take the MCAT. Our law school does require that you do the LSAT, but those are for our professional programs. And if you know that you have to have an entrance exam, then make sure that you take those early so that if the score is not what you want it to be, you can take it again. You'll also need letters of recommendation, and we want to make sure that they're good letters of recommendation. So we'll talk a little bit more about that further into the presentation. And then you have to have your transcripts. So we want to share those transcripts. Some people at the beginning will allow you to have an unofficial transcript, and then others will ask you for full transcripts to be sent to that institution. You may also have to do some admissions interviews. And so if you are doing those interviews, that means you look great on paper and they want to talk to you more about becoming a part of their program. Each school or program might have a different process and different deadlines. So what we suggest is that you go ahead and formulate your plan. A lot of our programs, if you are looking to enter into the program for fall of 2026, some of those programs have deadlines that are occurring this fall. A lot of them have November and December deadlines for those priority applications. So now is the time to go ahead and apply. Also, I always tell people, make a plan and plan ahead of time, right? So that you can have your choice of institutions that you want to go to. And it also helps you think about financially how much or what you need to contribute. Next slide. So some things to consider. What type of program are you applying for? Have you completed the necessary prereqs? If there's shadowing involved, have you done that? Are you needing to do some patient contact hours? Okay. Do you have a resume or a CV? And is it up to date? I'm going to tell y'all, mine is not quite up to date. So I have to do a little work on my CV. Has someone reviewed your resume or CV? Definitely have people put their eyes on your work so they can share and they can make suggestions. Do you have a LinkedIn profile, a website, or e-portfolio? I like to share with my students that LinkedIn is one of those social media platforms that's still viewed by professionals to be one that you can share your work, but you can also share that you are looking for graduate programs or research opportunities. Have you made networking connections that you can add? And you may make some even right here. I'd be excited for you guys to add me to your LinkedIn. Social media presence, you definitely need to Google yourself, okay? See what's out there so that if someone who is reviewing your application decides they want to Google you as well, nothing surprises you, okay? Also think about what skill set is needed for your next step, okay? And what skill set you want to develop as a part of that next step. And then what future steps do you need to do? List the skill sets that you need to have that align with your future goals. So when I first started undergrad, I actually thought that I wanted to go to medical school. I started out as a biology major, and that was the plan, right? And then very early on, thankfully, I discovered that I didn't really like patients that much. So I didn't want people to be coughing on me. I didn't want them to be sick and I have to take care of them because I'm so empathic that I would go into a room and somebody's sick and I'm crying. So I didn't really feel like that was the best fit for me. And it helped me make more informed decisions about what I want to do with my life. Next slide. So you may want to ask yourself, what is your purpose? What do you need to reach your goal? Are you putting forth that effort? Are you challenging yourself? What experiences could help you grow? Why are you here? What goals do you have? What steps have you taken or do you need to take to achieve it? And self-motivation despite doubt or fears or questions from others. So you have to kind of be self-motivated to go through this process. Are there presentations that you've done or could do that might help you in your graduate application package? Are there opportunities that you could take advantage of? And what about mentoring? Have you mentored or are you being mentored by someone? And maybe it's a case where both are happening at the same time. Those mentoring relationships are super important as you think about what your next steps are because they can help guide you to your next step. Next slide. All right. So we already kind of talked about gifts, right? And I think that everyone would love to have a very nice gift, right? Now, what if you got a gift, but it looked more like the gift on the left-hand side. It's all wrinkled up. Tape looks kind of terrible. There's a bow on top, but who knows where it came from, right? Looks like somebody might have sat on it or it went through a garbage compactor. Who knows, right? Well, even though it's a gift, it looks way less appealing when it's looking like that, right? Okay. You would much rather receive a gift that looks very pristine, tied with a bow. The corners are crisp, and it's wrapped very nicely like the packages on the right-hand side. So how do you present your package? Are you presenting your package like the present on the left or the present on the right? Next slide. Okay, so here's a quick question. How do you present yourself? Okay, and if I'm looking at these two folks, I don't know anything about them, right? But I'm looking at person A and person B. Just by looking, and you can drop this in the chat, who do you feel presents themselves as a professional? You want to put it in the chat? All right, I'll give you a minute. Throw things in the chat. Person A or person B? No takers? A, B? Well, often when I've done that, oh, yep, I've got a taker. Hi, nice to meet you. So often people have said person A. Oh, and I see people chiming in, person A, right? And so that's just by face value, right? This person looks like they're ready. They got their folder in their hand. They got their suit, their tie on. Yes, almost everyone that's chiming in says person A. Okay. Now, what if I told you a little bit more? All right. So Leslie, let's go to the next slide. So I'm going to tell you a little bit more. Person A has a 2.5 GPA and he participates in organizations on campus. Person B has a 3.5 GPA, is a part of the Honor Society, and completed an internship. Does that change your opinion? It might change your opinion. Now, who would you say was the better applicant or the better person on paper? Oh, person B. I see some B's chiming in. Yes. So from the outward package, person A looked like they were going to be a great applicant, and they probably are a great applicant, right? But person B may or may not have looked like the best applicant. Now, this is how our biases come into play, okay? So as you are thinking about your package, all of the things that you've done to make you a fantastic applicant to a graduate program, we want you to know that these are being viewed by humans. They're being viewed by people just like you, right? So they might see that you have all of these qualities, and we want them to see you in the best possible light, okay? So we want to dispel any biases that they might have, because we want to present that package to folks so that they are able to say, you know what, this person's amazing. I definitely want them in our program. All right, next slide. So think about how you even present yourself, right? And usually when I'm in person, I have people turn to themselves and introduce themselves, right? Leslie asked you to drop where you're coming from into the space. But even if you're introducing yourself, or you're doing those interviews, or you are conducting a Zoom interview with someone, make sure that you exude some confidence, right? You let people know what your name is, your major, your hometown, what your goals are. Even if you're just emailing them, and inquiring about a program or inquiring about an opportunity. You'll want to share those things. When you speak with them, you want to make some eye contact and say hello. That's a very American thing to do too, because I know some cultures see that as being disrespectful, but in America, we want to look at your eyes, right? So that's one of those things that culturally might be a little bit different. Projecting your voice. So make sure that people are able to hear you, because if you talk too softly, then it seems like you're not confident about what you're doing. So you want to be able to project your voice. Mannerisms. You probably see me using my hands a whole lot, right? And sometimes that helps us express ourselves. And we want you to have a level of excitement, because we're excited to meet you. We hope that you're excited to meet us too, and to chat a little bit more about what you would like to do. Leslie and I had this conversation earlier about distracting backgrounds. I changed my background 2 or 3 times this morning to make sure that it wasn't super distracting behind you. And in the end, I just went with a blur and my blank wall, right? Because I didn't want a background that was too distracting if I'm online. Next slide. What if you are emailing a professor or emailing a program? So how do you send an email that sounds professional? You want to use those formal tones or greetings and closings throughout the body. Dear Dr. So-and-so, dear Professor so-and-so, dear admissions committee, and be precise and direct with why you contacted them. I'm emailing you because I have an interest in conducting research in your lab. I'm emailing you because I have an interest in this particular program at your school. And then you can set a time and date to follow up. And one of the coolest things about technology right now is that you can quickly have and set up a video chat with someone from wherever you are. And that is a really useful tool that you have in your toolbox. Next slide. So what you want to do also is provide some identifying details in the subject line. Don't just put "hey" in the subject line, right? Or "hey, I want to talk to you." That probably is not going to get the attention that you need. So you can put in the subject line, "interested in this program, would love to chat." I actually have a colleague that is one of the deans at one of our schools that will put an entire message in the subject line. It's hilarious also, but he gets directly to the point, right? So people know exactly what he's going for. The other thing I'll say, and I might mention it in a future slide also, is that don't get discouraged if you don't hear from someone immediately. If they're like me, they probably are getting 50 to 100 emails every day. So that is a daunting task to get to all of them every day, along with whatever other responsibilities they might have. So give them a little bit of time, have a little patience with us. We want to see well-written paragraphs, writing complete sentences, no text language or emoticons. And I will also say ChatGTP is great for revising an email and saying, I want this to sound this way, or I would like this email to sound friendly and professional. I have no problems with ChatGTP being used in that way, right? Avoid any personal attacks like, you didn't email me back and now I don't have anything to do. No, that's the way to go about it. Okay. Wait for a reply. I usually will say about a week. Give someone about a week. And then if you haven't heard from them by that point, then also just follow up with them and say, hi, I just wanted to bring this to the top of your email. I'm very interested in opportunities at your school, and I would love to chat with you if you have time. And that's really pretty simple. All right, next slide. So, do you reach out to a program professor? I say yes. Most programs will have a contact email or a form that will allow you to connect, and they can send you notifications. Professors want to hear that you're interested in working with them, and during this time frame, I think it's really good to also reach out to professors because they can let you know whether or not they are able to fund a student or whether or not they're able to have someone conduct research with them. Ask for a brief online meeting at their convenience, not your convenience, at their convenience, right? And then follow up in about a week if you don't hear from them. Again, we get a lot of emails. Be direct with your ask. So it's not necessary that you have a long drawn out email. You can very quickly say, I'm interested in this. I'd love to connect with you. Do you have about 15 minutes where we could chat? Okay. And then if the person that you're chatting with can't take a student, ask for suggestions of other folks that you might be able to work with on that campus. And the people that you work at, you are contacting will likely know who those other people are. Next slide. So what are some things that you can do right now to start thinking about your next step and to start building your brand as a professional? Well, whether you know it or not, you likely already have a brand, right? So when somebody says, Dr. Tabitha Hardy, most people already know what they're getting, right? They know. They know who I am. They know what the brand is behind it. They know she's going to be passionate about her work. They know that she's totally in for students and student success. So they know what they're getting, right? When you see a brand, you likely know what you're getting too. So when I see that smiley face, I know that box has something in it for me. That is my Amazon box and it is coming, right? Super exciting, right? When I see those Mickey Mouse ears, I know it's got something to do with Disney World or Mickey Mouse, right? So I have an expectation that if I see some Disney ears, it's got something to do with Disney, right? Yes. And when I see that IU little, yep, that thing, the IU symbol, I know that it has something to do with Indiana University. So when somebody says your name, think about the brand that you are building. What are they thinking when they say, oh, Tabitha? Yeah. Are they thinking, oh, that's the one that goes to sleep in my class? Or, oh, that's the one that shows up late for everything? Or, oh, that's the one that I can't really depend on because they have all of these other different things happening? Hopefully that's not the case. But if it is the case, then you can start working on your and building your professional brand right now. You can strengthen that brand. You can do things that will help you to get great letters of recommendation and to move forward. Next slide. I'm ready. Yep. Thank you. So how do you want to be remembered? How do people see you? And you can ask your friends. So how do you see me? And your friends hopefully see you really great because you're wonderful, right? But you can also ask some people that maybe you've had less encounters with. How do you see me? But also think about how you want to be seen. Do you want to be seen as the professional in your area or the professional in your field, right? Do you want to be seen as the student that is dependable and reliant and turns in good quality work, right? How do you want to be seen? And if you don't feel like you're necessarily being seen in that way right now, what can you do to kind of shift that narrative, right? Because you are in control of your own story. So what we want you to do is take control of that story and think about how it's being written, okay? So What do you want your letters of recommendation to say? Okay, if you're working with somebody, what do you want them to be able to talk about? And then what can you do now to develop or strengthen your brand? Maybe that involves you getting involved in your community. Maybe it involves in you doing some strategic volunteering so that you can connect with people that you might not have connected with before. Next slide. Also, feel free to drop any questions that you might have into the chat as well. I'm happy to answer them. Leslie, we can go to the next slide. I think it's being slow on my end.
Hey, Dr. Hardy, I'm so sorry.
Ahead.
I think I'm having a tech glitch on my end. Can you see this current screen okay?
Yep, I got it. Thank you. No worries. I understand for sure. So I'm a proponent of using social media. I don't mind it. And I think sometimes that it looks a little bit suspicious if you don't have any social media out there. So not all social media is bad, and there are ways to use social media to announce your scientific accomplishments. I mentioned LinkedIn a little bit earlier. You can use that to talk about your presentations. And in this slide, you see that one of our past students wanted to share that she was featured and her STEM journey was featured. And so she was able to repost about it. In the middle, you see that one of the professors wanted to post about their student that was presenting. You could also see that people were posting about an article that was being published. And then you see a LinkedIn post from me that talks about a presentation that I did about a year ago with our IU Gateway partners, as we talked about this very subject, acing your grad application package. So you can use your social media in very positive ways to promote and to show what you're doing, what you're up to, and to think about where your next steps might be. And you can use that profile to connect with others so that they are aware that you may have an interest in their area. And at least you'll meet some cool people and maybe make some friends. Next slide. So let's talk a little bit more about wrapping your package, okay? Now, we've all been here where you were thinking about wrapping this gift and it turns out to be a total and utter disaster, okay? So what we don't want is it to turn out to be a terrible disaster, right? This is why some people have resorted to using the gift bags. They don't want to wrap anything anymore, but you are a gift. And what we're hoping to do is to help you get your package together, right? Okay, so that it doesn't look like a hot mess, but it looks fantastic, and and you're able to present yourself in the best light possible. Next slide. And I love that we're seeing people from all over the world. Love it. So when you think about packaging yourself for graduate school, you know that there are certain pieces of the process, right? So when we think about some of these admissions requirements, make sure that you meet the basic requirements, okay? And for a lot of graduate schools, they want you to have a certain GPA, and they want you to have whatever prerequisites you may need moving forward. The education requirement for every grad school I know of is that you have the bachelor's degree, okay? Now, there are maybe some that will allow you to do a degree along with your bachelor's. That definitely happens. So if that's a possibility, you can do that as well. Some additional information, sometimes they'll want those test scores. So maybe not the GRE, but maybe it's a TOEFL score. Also, you will need a personal statement. And I like to tell people that your personal statement is your best opportunity to brag on yourself. Okay. My mom, I'm Southern. My mom used to say, it's a sorry dog that won't wag its own tail. So that's your opportunity to wag your tail, right? And to say, hey, this is me. I'm amazing. And you want me for your program because of my genuine awesomeness. All right. And so sometimes we don't brag enough about all the cool things that we're up to. You'll need letters of recommendation, and usually at least 3 of them. Okay. Usually you'll need one from a major course professor. So whether that's science or math or history, you'll need something from someone that you might have done research with, if you've had those opportunities, or conducted a project with. And I get questions often about, well, can my supervisor on my job give and offer a letter of recommendation? Yes, they absolutely can. And what you can do is share that you would like that person to specifically talk about your abilities as a leader, your abilities to act as a team player, your abilities to lead projects, your abilities as far as customer service is concerned, right? So those are great things to be able to talk about as well as your academic pursuits and your research. So I'm going to give you an example. This is not the same person A and B from before, but another person A. Okay. So this person A was a Girl Scout troop leader. And so you could definitely put down on your resume Girl Scout troop leader or Scout troop leader, right? But what is that really telling us? Okay. For me, I might see that it's showing us leadership skills. That person values diversity. That person can work with various populations, because that's what a troop leader does, right? And then I see this one a lot, that people talk about, we've done some summer research. Now, you can take that one summer research line and break it out into many different parts. And I'll show you how we do that in the next slide. But when I hear summer research, I also can infer that you've got some project management skills. So just tell me that, right? I managed this project, okay? I was able to do an analysis on this big data project, right? Maybe you're working as a camp counselor. If you're working as a camp counselor, then you're also in people management, right? Because you got to get the folks where they're supposed to be and the time that they're supposed to be there. You are probably a pro at time management, right? Because the meals happen at a certain time, and if you don't get everybody there, then they don't eat. You likely have some experience in teaching, especially if it's one of those camps that is discipline specific. Maybe you had a science camp. Maybe it was an arts camp, right? So you could totally share those experiences. I love seeing in the chat all of the different areas that people are interested in. Very cool. Master's in public administration. I see journalism. Very cool to see that. So when we talk about wrapping your package, I could have this one sentence or one line on my CV that says summer research experience, right? That could be it. Could totally be it. But when we break this down, what are you really gaining, or what did you really get during this summer research experience? It's likely that you did some research and conducted experiments, collected data, analyzed data. It's likely that you designed and evaluated experiments, You presented data at a lab meeting and maybe at a conference, right? Maybe it was a national conference. Maybe it was a poster presentation. It might have been an oral presentation. You likely honed your technical skills and probably gained some skills in some different areas. And then you probably also prepared at least an abstract or maybe even a manuscript. So I may or may not get all of that if you put that one line there that says summer research experiment. So when you are wrapping your package and thinking about all of the work and fantastic things that you've done, you can share with us that, yes, I conducted these experiments. Yes, I designed this, right? When we think about the skills that you might have gained during a summer research experience, data analysis skills, your ability to work independently on a project and also on a team. You had to probably set some priorities, right? And then think about your time management because you didn't want to be in that space for hours and hours, right? So you had to manage your time. You can talk about showing respect and sensitivity with your lab mates, right? Any computer applications or that you might have done. And I always fuss at people because this one is the most obvious, that you manage the project, right? You have project management skills if you are able to manage that project from your summer research. So there's a question in the chat that's asking about a mechanical engineering graduate, and they said they have extensive research experience but don't have a GRE test score. Can they get admissions for a PhD mechanical engineering as an international student? So what I will say is that it will vary by the program. There are some programs that may still require the GRE, but a lot of programs now do not still require the GRE. So I would say take a look at the program that you are thinking about, and their requirements should be on their webpage. If it is required, or even if it is recommended, I would recommend that you do that. If it's not a requirement, then you don't have to have it. Okay. All right. So really quickly, we'll talk about personal statements. What is it? It may be one essay or it might be multiple questions, right? Again, I'll tell you that it's your best opportunity to sell yourself, right? You'll want to do several drafts of this, right? And I often get things from students that say, like, Dr. Hardy, I am not that special. My story is not that unique. No one's journey is like yours, and you are unique. Okay. So think about all of those things that make you unique, that make you stand out, that have you, that will separate you from another applicant, right? And help you rise to the top. So most personal statements will answer questions like, why are you interested in that program or school? Why, what are your academic or research interests? Like, what are you interested in? How did you become interested in that field? So what's the backstory? Did you learn everything that you learned from Grey's Anatomy or from watching TV shows, or have you had some experience in the field? Have you volunteered with people? What experiences have you had that contributed towards your interest, right? Are you volunteering in this space? Are you doing research? Are you engaged in the community? Have you had patient contact hours? Do you realize that you do a summer research experience? All of those different things can help you, right? And then think about what your long-term goals are. So yes, if you get into this program, what are you going to do with this degree? Okay. And have a good answer for that question, because it always comes up during a interview. What are your long-term goals? What's your plan for this degree? Okay. And you want to be persuasive because you are a gift and you're going to be a wonderful package for some program, but you have to let that program know how you're going to be a gift to them. Next slide. So as you're thinking about wrapping your package, there are several different parts of this, And as you write your resume, your CV, your personal statement, any of those written parts, you need to use some action words, right? And here's some common action words that you can utilize, but you can also do a quick search for action words. If we're talking about management and leadership skills, you can say that you administered, you analyzed, you approved, or you assigned, right? If you're thinking about research skills, analyze comes up again, you clarified, collected, you compared it, right? You critiqued it. And if you're thinking about your communication and people skills, you addressed, advertised, arbitrated, arranged. All those different adjectives can help amplify the work that you did. Okay. I've already talked to you about updating that LinkedIn profile and checking your social media pages. So I'm going to say it one more time so that everyone understands that that's also an important piece. Okay. Next slide. So with your letters of recommendation, I always say ask for those letters a month in advance. If there's someone that you already know that you want as a letter writer, then you actually need to make sure that they are aware that they're one of your letter writers. Okay, and they might have you might have multiple schools that you're applying for. So if you go to them and you say, hey, Dr. So-and-so, I'm planning to apply for 5 different schools. Do you mind writing me a letter of recommendation for all of them? Then that way they can say, I don't know if I can do all of that, but I can do 2 or 3. But most of the time, once we write one letter, it doesn't take a whole lot of adjusting to write a few more. Okay. When you do that, when you ask for those letters, they need to come from instructors that taught you or can speak to your strengths. We also talk a little bit about getting letters from your boss too and what they can address. You can help them out by providing things like your transcript, your personal statement, a description of the program that you're applying for, any guidelines for writing the letter of recommendation, suggestions on what to highlight. So you can say, for you, I would like for you to talk about the summer research experience that we had. Or with this letter, I would like for you to hone in on my leadership skills and my ability to execute a project and analyze the data. So you can give them suggestions on what you want them to write and follow up with them. You can follow up for 2 weeks and at 1 week and even a few days before the deadline if needed. Okay. Next slide. So I like to throw these examples out, and these are some from my students who don't mind me sharing. So this letter says, "Hi, Dr. Hardy," and we had a conversation. They told me about this fellowship that they wanted to do, and they told me the deadline. And the coolest thing that they've done here is that they attached a lot of different things. They attached their personal statement, their research statement, their plan for the research. They sent me a link to the fellowship itself. So it made it very easy for me to write up this letter because I had all of the materials that I needed right in front of me. Next slide. So as you're thinking about your application package and yourself as a great gift to any graduate program that exists, what if you feel like, oh, my package is not ready? Like my package is looking raggedy right now. I need a little time to get it together. Okay. What can you do? So you can take advantage of opportunities that come your way, right? And maybe they are closely aligned with what you are working on or thinking about, but maybe they're a little outside of that scope. Put yourself in some uncomfortable situations. If you're a person that doesn't like to speak or have oral presentations, sign up for an oral presentation someplace, okay? Make suggestions to improve your own learning. Maybe it's you joining a club or a a group that is focused in on an area that you want to learn. If you want to learn coding, maybe you join a group that focuses in on that. Build a mentoring team. So find some good people that are around you that can help mentor you. Think about any community service that you can do that would help your cause, okay? Join organizations and professional societies. And there are a lot of professional societies out there for whatever field you're thinking about. My friend is a part of the American Cancer Society. And then I have another friend that's a part of the Chemical Society. Make an action plan. Okay. So I'm not ready this right now, but in the next 3 months, I'm going to do these 3 things in order to better prepare myself for applying to a graduate program. Okay. You can also take courses to help build your skills. And there are a lot of things that are online that can help you build your skills. And you can also start and think about graduate non-degree programs or classes that you can get as prerequisites to help to build your skill set. Don't get discouraged, okay? Because we've all been there at a point where you're like, I don't know if this is going to work, but you miss 100% of the shots that you don't take. So shoot your shot, okay? You can do this. All right. Next slide. So we would love to stay in contact with you guys. And I know that there are a couple of questions in the chat we'd like to address too. And if you have other questions, you can definitely put them in the chat. Or is there opportunity to unmute also, Leslie? I don't know.
So unfortunately, there won't be a chance to unmute, but we'd love to either see the questions in the chat or I've dropped the email address. So if you want to take a look at the links, take a look at the information and connect with us, I'll be sharing the information with Abby as well.
Awesome. So Samuel has a question in the chat. Is the admission requirement the same for international students who may have come from different educational systems, especially recommendation letters and experiences beyond the classroom? I'll take a stab at it, and then Leslie, I'll definitely allow you to chime in too. So what I would say is take a look at the website of whatever program you are applying to. Most of them already have laid out for you what their requirements are to apply. And it is typically the same for international students who might have come from different educational systems. Now, what you can also do is share with them a little bit more about that educational system in your personal statement so that folks understand that this might have been an opportunity versus something else that they might have an expectation of. So you can definitely share that in your personal statement and maybe even in your CV.
Mm-hmm. Echoing what Dr. Hardy just suggested and shared, I would also say, please do reach out to us at the international office. We'd love to hear from you. We want to be a resource for all of our international students going through the application process, welcoming folks to campus and beyond. Another suggestion that comes to mind, I know that a lot of our departments offer info sessions, and that can be an amazing way to build that relationship, get connected with faculty. Faculty bios are posted on our website, so take a moment, find that person within the department who matches your research area, and get those conversations going.
Great. So a couple more questions have come in. Do you have funding opportunities for MPA? So with our MPA program, most of our programs, there are a few different funding opportunities. One, of course, is student loans, right? You take out a loan and you get some funding that way. And also, we have students that do teaching assistantships, which basically means they teach a course or they are a grader and they get some funding that way. So they get some sort of funding opportunity through a teaching assistantship. We also have students who are research assistantships. And so with a research assistantship, you are conducting research with someone about a particular subject or a particular area, and you receive funding for working in that research area. And then the last one is a graduate assistantship. So with the graduate assistantship, you might work in an office like our graduate school. We actually have 2 students that are both international students that are working in our graduate school. And because they do that, we offer them funding. So we are covering their tuition, their insurance, and we offer them a stipend. So there are funding opportunities for a lot of our programs. Leslie, I'll let you take this one from Joseph. Do you accept Duolingo test scores? I think we do. Yeah. I know we have in the past.
Yeah. Often it's really coming down to that program by program specific requirement piece. So what can't emphasize enough how important it is to reach out to the department, and they'll have their requirements listed on the website, or reach out to the international office. We're happy to help with that. I think we have time for one last question, Dr. Hardy. I know we have some great questions coming in, but we'll be able
to we do have some great conversations that are happening. Let's see. So we've got one that is asking, can we let recommenders write with like to whom it may concern, because it's tiresome to get them to write. I would say not to whom it may concern, but maybe dear admissions committee, or something like that. At least the to whom it may concern is a little bit too impersonal. So I would say dear admissions committee, or dear graduate program directors, or something like that. That's a little bit more tailored versus to whom it may concern. Okay. And then I got 2 questions on funding. Most of the fully funded is at the PhD level. Okay. There's are a lot of programs that may provide more partial funding at the master's level. Free scholarships in journalism communications, I don't know. You probably will definitely need to reach out to the school for that.
Yeah. I am just really grateful, Dr. Hardy, for all of your tips, suggestions, advice, and perspective today, especially as the questions have been coming in. As we're closing our time together today, and to everyone on the call listening in or watching this recording after, we really would love to hear from you. We'd love to help connect you directly to the departments. Reach out, please, and connect with us by email, on LinkedIn, some of the fabulous ways that Dr. Hardy shared today on the call. And we, so I'll just end on my end. Thank you so much, Dr. Hardy, for your time to share today. We greatly appreciate you, and we hope that we can continue to work together and welcome the international students to campus. Thanks so much for everyone joining today. If you have any other questions, reach out to us. We'll be happy to help get those answered, and can't wait to hear from you. All the best from IU Indy. Dr. Hardy, any final words today?
Thanks for attending, everybody. We're super excited to see your applications coming soon. Bye, all. Have a good day.
Take care.